Hey folks, welcome to Bullets and Brass. We're doing something on accessories today. And the accessories in question are primarily Bravo Company. However, there's stuff on the table that is not Bravo Company that I've already talked about, but it'll get pointed out and mentioned and all that jazz. So we've got a clear AR, and I got my range thing in here because I had it in the bag from the last range trip. As usual, has not been cleaned since the range trip. But I usually end up shooting a video before I put them away. So it's not like I don't ever clean my guns. They just don't seem to get cleaned before the video. They get cleaned after the video. Anyway, this is kind of a mishmash. You might recognize parts of this setup. The lower half is my SBR lower. Let me disconnect the... The lower half is my SBR. The upper half is actually the What Would Stoner Do build upper, which is kind of a mishmash because my SBR lower is kind of heavy. And obviously the What Would Stoner Do build is a very light build. But I was shooting it with a friend and I wanted the adjustable stock and a few other things. I wanted the ambidextrous safety that I don't have on the other lower. So it is what it is. Anyway, we'll start with the items on the rifle. Now, I've talked about it before. I have the Larue grip, an E-Mod stock. I really like the E-Mods. However, there definitely are things that have superseded them in the market. I've got my Geisley Airborne charging handle. Love them. The Primary Arms 2X Gold. Love it. Larue trigger. I can't actually remember whose safety this is. It's an ambidextrous one with the Magpul levers. There is a video on it. Go check it out. I will link it in the end page thing. I just don't remember whose it is. It's worked. It works great. I have not had any issues. No complaints whatsoever. What else we got? Magpul MS4 Sling. I've got several of these now. I really like them. They hold up really well. They clean up really well. I mean, this one has actually seen quite a bit of use. And, you give it a rinse, you dry it out, it looks almost like new. On camera, it probably looks new. In person, it's got a few frays and things, but not bad. So, the new item on here that we haven't seen at all, let me protect this table here, is this front grip. Now, this is literally on here as a test. I don't normally leave that on here. And for the range trip I just did with a friend, I figured I would throw this on here. She has another. It would make it a little more like her rifle. Keeps things interesting, right? So what it is, this is a Bravo Company Gunfighter vertical grip Mod 3. They also refer to this as a Bravo Gunfighter grip Mod 3. However, it is not the vertical grip, even though obviously it is pretty vertical. I really like this. I didn't expect to. I really do. It is very well made. The interior is all hollow, but it's not super thin. It doesn't flex in your hand. It doesn't feel like there's any give. The back and the front are just ribbing. It's just little horizontal ribs. They are significant enough to offer some grip. They are soft enough and eased enough to not be sharp. So if you need grip, they're there. If you don't need it, it's not tearing up your hand. The side is almost like a sponge, a natural sponge kind of texture. Spirals and swirls and things rather than the usual like grip tape kind of texture. I really like it. It isn't sharp to the hand, but again, it's on there. When you need that grip texture, it's there, but it doesn't get in your way. It's not going to snag on things. It's not going to grind on things. It's not an issue. Mine is the MLOK one. Went on, no problem. Fit perfectly. No issues there. MLOK usually works great. I'm a fan. If you don't like vertical grips, you might not like it. I particularly like the fact that this one's a little smaller, a little more discreet than some of them. It's not a big, crazy thing sticking down. And it doesn't take up a lot of space on my rail. Everybody's got their preference. Check one out. The next item on the list, also Bravo company, is the grip. Now, everybody's got a definite preference on these. There's a million different versions. I'm a real fan of that Larue grip. However, it is very aggressive. It is not a grip for a situation where you need to adjust your grip. You will rip your hand up on that if you're trying to slide your hand on quickly on that. Not really, but it's abrasive. On the other hand, you're locked in. You're not going to drop the rifle. It's not going to slip in your hand. I've always really liked it. There is no storage. It's open underneath and it doesn't have a plug. No complaints, but it is a very specific grip. People are either going to love or hate that Larue grip. The Bravo Company Mod 3, and there are a couple other versions, is a pretty standard grip as far as modern grips go. A little shaping to it, not a ton. It's nice in the hand, nice full feel. It isn't as small as like an A2 where it's kind of thin. Down here, there's no like latch. You squeeze and it is snug. And obviously that will loosen up over time. And it literally is a rubber gasket. Okay, that's a rubber gasket that you're just compressing. It seals, and there's little catches on both sides. And it clicks in. Now, you can store a fair bit in there. Definitely can get a spare bolt in there, not a bolt carrier group, but the bolt, a bottle of lube, some wrenches. If you've got a wrench to get your scope on and off, or a front sight adjustment tool if you run a traditional front sight, there's room in there. Not more or less than a lot of the other ones. It's pretty similar to like the Magpul ones. But the texturing is the same as this grip. And there's a lot of it. Your hand on there, it feels very secure. Not as secure as the Larue, but not as aggressive when you don't need it. The back strap is smooth. I prefer that. I like to be able to kind of slide my hand. If I relax my grip, I like to be able to move my hand a little bit. And that kind of lets me readjust my grip. You got it at a low ready. You need a little bit of a different grip. You're shooting offhand. You're shooting prone. It's nice to be able to get a slightly different grip. This one is so contoured. That's your grip. Put your hand on it the way they designed it to. That's your grip. This is more universal. If I had to pick one to put on an AR blindly, I'm building an AR for somebody, I don't know what they like, I would go with this guy. If I was building another AR for me, for general purpose, not precision shooting, meaning that I was going to be moving around with this a lot, I was going to be hot, sweaty, maybe bloody, messy hands, I'm going hunting, whatever, I would go with the Larue. I think that the texture on the Larue and the shape on the Larue encourage a very good grip that stays there. This is a much more flexible grip, but a little less grip, a little less traction. Everybody's going to have a theory. Everybody's going to have a preference. I'm not saying this is better than this or this is better than this. There are different strokes for different folks. Certainly, I plan to use this on when I finally build the other, or when I move out of Connecticut and build another regular AR. I am not using this. I don't have any plans to buy a different grip to put on there. I have used this. I had it on here. I like it. It's just not my personal favorite. Okay. So now we get to what was the original intent for this video. I've got something that isn't brand new, but is still new to the market. People are still getting a feel for them. And that is an SBA-4. Now, we've all seen the SB braces. SB Tactical has been making these for a while. They're one of the major players in this market. Now, what makes the SB-4 special? Well, it uses a standard buffer tube, for one. Okay, that is not anything weird. I can put this on anything. Okay, fully adjustable, just like normal. Works like a regular AR stock assembly, right? I've got quick disconnects on both sides, and let me show you how those go. Okay, clicks in, nice and easy. You're no fighting with it like my end plate one here. It isn't a locked in one. It's not a 45 degree or anything like that. What it is there's only so much room for it to pivot on the frame. So you go all the way up, kind of goes a little past vertical, and you go about to horizontal. So your adjustment range matches what you'd actually want. There's not a ton of extra room, but they didn't limit you for the reality of what you want. Comes out of there pretty nice. That's a pet peeve of mine. I hate ones that you got to fight. This one, I change it, except that I put it on there and I leave it 99% of the time. I don't change out the stock or the sling. It just lives there. So this is a pistol brace. This is not a stock. For those of you not familiar with what pistol brace is, the idea is, you can do that. You can strap it to your arm, and obviously it would actually go a little further up your arm. I didn't feel like fighting with it. And it's secured to your arm for one-handed shooting. Now, originally this was intended for people with disabilities where they have either one hand or only one that's really working well, or one arm even. It lets you shoot an AR without having to have something else stabilizing it. It gives you enough leverage to make that work. A lot of people freehand it, hold it out there. They use it kind of brace on the side. And yeah, a lot of people treat them like stocks. You shouldn't. That isn't really legal. However, people do it. The SBA-4 has a solid back plate here. It is an insert. It isn't solid. It's not a plug. However, it gives some good surface area if you do decide to put this on your shoulder temporarily. I do not support that. I do not encourage that. Do it at your own risk. Laws are changing all the time. However, there's quite a bit of surface area there. This is soft rubber, not super soft, but it's a little flexy, but not so much this way. Not coming this way. It's flexy this way. You can see that. So that it can go around your arm, right? Now, they do take some break-in. If you're going to use it around your arm, it doesn't come pre-bowed out. You kind of got to just do it. I'm a real fan. I think that SBA got this one right. They've got slots here to lighten it rather than a storage compartment. However, there's still this pad. There's still, if you're putting it up to your face, there's still room there, right? You're not feeling like you're going to rip your face apart on these. They're soft. They're nicely rounded. Both sides, it's ambidextrous. Nothing crazy there. Available in several colors. They are a little tricky to get. They're still kind of scarce. I had to shop around and ended up lucking into AIM Surplus having one in stock when I was trying to buy. And I'm pretty sure I got one of the last ones they had because when I looked back the next day, they were all gone in every color. It is what it is. I think of the pistol braces, if you're looking for a full-on adjustable, actually use it as a pistol brace, might put it to your shoulder now and then, want a cheek weld possible, this is the one to get. I did a lot of research because I didn't want to be limited on the buffer tube. So that is all I got for you today. I can't say enough. I think that everything here, all the accessories I've touched on today the pistol brace, the grip, the Larue grip. I mean, if you can find them, the E-Mod, the vertical grip, they all work really well. I have not been disappointed whatsoever in any of them, which is not normal for me. Normally, I buy accessories and I go, it was okay. Or it didn't do anything, did something else didn't do. To me, a lot of the stuff that people are looking at, a lot of the accessories on the market, they're not fulfilling a need. They're just creating demand. They're consumer items that they're selling you something you didn't actually need or know you wanted, right? They made you want it. And there's nothing wrong with that from their perspective. And if you've got the disposable income, great. If it makes you happy, power to you. I've got enough stuff. I really try to limit it and keep it simple. So I'm always looking for, hey, is there an option that's better for a particular job? Or if I discover a need, for example, when I was looking for slings, and I said, you know what, I need a sling that I can adjust to go from the far end here to being in here, be here versus here, be a single point, be a 2-point. I want a sling there. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to go, oh shit, which one did I grab? Is it the right one for this rifle in this moment? I wanted to be able to go, oh yeah, I'm good. I can just adjust it on the fly. We're done. That's why I use the MS4s. There are others. It is not the only one that can do that. But I can get MS4s all the time. They're one of the most common slings out there. Popular, easy, different colors if you care. And they're not outrageous. I think I paid $54 for my last one. They're a little higher these days. I've seen 79 or 80. But that'll go back. Versus $100, $150 for some of these things because they're $100 plus you've got to buy the swivels. I don't see the need. I don't see the benefit of that. Now, if price wasn't an issue, yeah, there are some slings that are awesome and are more elegant than this one. Do they really work any better in the real world? In my situation, not really. I've messed around with a few. The one I really want to try that I haven't had a chance to is the Haley Strategic one. It's about $100 last I saw, probably more now if you can even get them. Same concept as the MS4, but I mean we're talking Haley Strategic, right? I mean he's one of the guys that came up with a lot of the Magpul stuff. He seems to have refined what became the MS4 to a very elegant, polished system that has minimal bulk, maximum functionality. But I haven't been able to get my hands on one. I have not tried one in person. So hey, if anybody involved with Haley Strategic is watching this, I'll be more than happy to product test one for you and do a review. Otherwise, I'll eventually just have to buy one and give it a try. So that is it today. I'm going to edit that down because we're at 25 3/4 minutes. So take care, have fun, stay safe, y'all, stay out of trouble, keep shooting. Say hi.